Good evening, race fans, and welcome to round number 4 of the Team Goon Squad Formula One Challenge. We are here today at Daytona Beach at Daytona International Speedway. My name is Mason Heimball with Team Goon Squad, bringing you the action here today. 1080p, 60 frames a second as per usual. And let's go ahead and get into our starting grid. Finley Fitzsimmons starting off in first place with Jack Mundy in the 320 machine. Starting off in second place, Alex Penn taking the third place spot with Matthew Davidson starting off in fourth place. James East, the proud owner of Team Goon Squad, taking the fifth place spot for tonight's race with Tyler Evans starting off in first place as we are getting ourselves started off here. Where was I? Tyler Evans in that 7th place spot. James Silvers in the 8th place spot. And Daniel Beauchamp not appearing to be starting here for this, for the start of this race here. A little bit surprised by that, to be completely honest. But here we go. We're going to take our first lap here around the field alongside our safety car driver, Joseph Penn, here at the moment. But while that is underway here, I just want to say that, don't normally see ourselves at an oval course, more specifically a roval course at that. So, we are indeed going to be utilizing the entire roval here at Daytona, and yeah, I gotta say, this is definitely, look at these cars making their way onto this banked section of the track, and just how odd they look here on this track. It's absolutely phenomenal here. So all of that downforce not being utilized in the proper fashion, but that is kind of the purpose of ourselves being here today as we continue to work through the bus stop section here at Daytona. But yeah, this poses a unique challenge to the drivers, to the entire field, really. And it's just a really unique thing to see, and have these drivers kind of be thrown a little bit of a different excuse me, a little bit of a different bone here to try and utilize or master, if you will. But away we go as the safety car makes its way down into pit road. We are racing for the first time here at Daytona, and already we got a couple, looks like someone had a problem there possibly. Not exactly too certain if there was a problem there on track, but just trying to keep up with these drivers here as they move very quickly through this circuit here. Finley Fitzsimmons leading the field at this point in time. Jack Mundy taking that second place spot. Both of the Race Hub Motorsports drivers taking that 1 and 2 position that we saw both last race, as well as Finley Fitzsimmons spins it sideways on the entry to the oval. That's going to give his teammate Jack Mundy the lead here. Look at all the spark coming out from the underside of that skid plate. I believe I just called that the incorrect name, but either way, either how, we're going to keep with the action here. Alex Penn up in second place right now in the 30 machine as he works his way. I believe this is out of turn 4 on the oval. Indeed it is. So there we go, across the checkered line and going into the first turn of the road course section here at Daytona. Alex Penn already looking fairly smooth here. We see Matthew Davidson as well in third place right now, holding on to third in that 22 machine. But looking just a little bit further back, Finley Fitzsimmons, after having that little bit of an incident there going into the oval section, he's going to find himself battling it out here with James Silvers from fourth place, as Silvers going to be trying to get right on the tail here of Finley Fitzsimmons. And it looks like we've already got a couple drivers that have found themselves out of the race or in pits due to one reason or another. Daniel Beauchamp did not start at the beginning of the race here. A little bit curious as to why that happened here, but Daniel going to be still out on track right now, holding on to 6th place, but he's down about a lap and a half at this point in time. So Daniel's got a lot of work ahead of him before he's back up and contending with the drivers on the lead lap at this point in time. So we're going to have to keep up with that and see how that curates over the course of the race here. But continuing on with the drivers on the lead lap, up in front, Alex Penn still trying to do all that he can here to stick with that first place spot now that he has it, as looks like Jack Mundy has come down into the pits here as well, getting looks like a something service there. I can't quite determine what, but yeah, so we already have 3 drivers down in the pits for one reason or another. I'm not sure if they're going to be back out here for the feature here today, but we are on lap 4 of 27 here. Drivers are clicking off laps here fairly quickly, and given just how difficult it is to really stay fast on a circuit, on a track like this. I mean, these cars are not designed to go on these high banked corners, and that slows them down just by a little bit. Now, when I say a little bit, if you were to take a Dallara IR18, which is also a car that is available on the iRacing service, you will find that in the corners on these ovals, the Formula One car does not hold its own very well. It can go fast, there's no question about that, but it cannot keep the same pace that a car specifically designed to go around ovals will be able to do here. But that is not going to stop these drivers from trying to have battles here throughout the oval section as well as the road section. Right now, Alex Penn currently making his way out onto the oval section here, going into, I believe this is turn 1, coming out of turn 2 down the back straight, if I recall correctly here, and then through the bus stop. Yes, correct. Okay, all right, making sure that I'm just on the correct section of the track here with everyone at home. But right now, a lot of this action is fairly quiet at this point in time. There's not a whole lot of action happening out on track, most of our drivers have found themselves with quite a bit of distance between each other. Really, the closest battle or closest distance is between Finley Fitzsimmons and Matthew Davidson, with just under 2 seconds between these two drivers. There you see a good view of those two drivers making their way around the road section here. But Daniel Beauchamp, it's kind of surprising to see here all the way back in 6th place and down a lap as well. A lap and a half. Well, actually, he's actually working his way up. He's down to about a lap and a quarter now since then. But these laps are ticking away fairly quickly for Daniel Beauchamp. And look at this, James East back out on track here after possibly having some damage repaired to that 355 machine. But he is also going to be suffering a little bit of the same fate here as Daniel, and is going to be down almost, looks to be about a lap and a half, actually. Just a little bit behind that of Daniel Beauchamp at this point in time. But it's good to see both of those drivers making their way back out onto track here and still competing here. Look at this, though. Daniel Beauchamp making his way around Tyler Evans in the 77. Tyler looking like he almost had a moment there. I'm not exactly certain what was going on there for the 77 Tyler Evans, but he's going to find himself getting lapped from Daniel Beauchamp to unlap himself as James Silvers makes a pass around Matthew Davidson as I believe that's what happened here. I'm not exactly too certain what that was, but anyhow, at this current point in time, it's still Alex Penn's race in the 30 machine. I do believe Alex Penn with Cornerstone Motorworks, if I have the correct team there. Let me verify that I am not. Indeed. So Cornerstone Motorworks machine number 30 here with Alex Penn as the driver, taking the lead here at Daytona, and really that's not for me, that's not a huge surprise here. Alex Penn, fairly good driver here in the oval courses, so I'm not too surprised that he's taken this to the next level here, and really, a lot of these drivers probably, well, I would say there's a good section of them that are familiar with ovals and how to run them and how to be fast to them, but I would also say that it is not their forte by any stretch of the imagination. So a lot of these drivers might be coming into this race and kind of thinking to themselves, how am I going to be fast here? How am I going to stay fast, stay consistent, and survive this 27-lap race, which we currently working on lap 8 at this point in time. Drivers are clicking off laps of about a minute 22 seems to be the average here at this point in time. But right now, let's actually take a look here. You can actually see on the left-hand side of your screen now the driver's last time around the track here. So Alex Penn here, a little bit slower his last time around with a 123.59. Fitzsimmons quickly working his way back up to the field after having that little bit of a slip up going into turn 2 on the oval section, just coming out of the road course. He spun himself out and found himself all the way back down. I believe it was to 4th or 5th place, and had to recover his way all the way back up to now 2nd place, which quickly closing in on the 30 of Alex Penn here. I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to see Alex Penn here before too long. Let's actually take a look at our top speeds around Daytona. So I mentioned that Alex Penn was seemed to be a little bit more confident here in the Roval. Well, look at this, James East having a little bit of trouble here, coming out of the same section that Finley Fitzsimmons had his first incident in. Looks like that 355 machine a little bit more beat and banged up than that of Finley Fitzsimmons the first time around there, as James is going to try and desperately limp it back onto track and possibly to the pits, but it does not look like that's going to be possible here. So right now, you know, for Alex Penn, it definitely seems like he is the man to beat. But Finley Fitzsimmons, like I mentioned, he's a little bit faster right now. He might be able to catch that 30 machine and be able to possibly put himself back into that first place spot here. But it's only time will tell. There's only so much that you can do in races like this. And at a certain point, you're almost... depending on how good the driver is in front of you, you're almost just hoping for a mistake on the behalf of the driver in the lead. But Finley Fitzsimmons has definitely shown that he is more than capable of winning races in the Formula One series, and I do believe that given enough time, Finley's going to find himself back around Alex Penn here before too long. We're going to check back in here with Matthew Davidson, excuse me, in the fourth place spot in the 22 machine. Just about 10 seconds separating himself and James Silvers at this point in time. Oh, that is not the right thing that I wanted there, folks. But right now, what I'm seeing is a lot of these drivers are really spread out right now. And what I want to do, actually, is let's take a look at what compounds these drivers are using here and see exactly how that's affecting their race and what their strategy is going to be going forward. Now, what I'm noticing right off the bat here, Alex Penn on those hard whites, and if I recall correctly, he used the same compound in the last race. In the last race at Hockenheim, and a little bit of an interesting move here. I almost wonder if Alex is just a little bit more comfortable on those hards, sacrificing that little bit of extra time for the sake of longevity. Really just being able to stay out as long as you possibly can, avoiding that pit stop might play in the favor of the 30 machine of Alex Penn here tonight. But looking just behind that 30 machine of Alex Penn here, we see Finley Fitzsimmons with Race Hub Motorsports. Also going to be on those hard whites here as well, so it might just be the trend of the track here. It definitely does seem like being on the hard whites, possibly even the intermediates, are going to be in your favor a little bit more, just given the banking here at Daytona, as well as kind of the rather tight sections that we have here in the road course as well. Definitely going to be eating away at those tires, especially when you are out on the oval section going through the banking. So tire wear definitely has to be considered heavily in a race like this, as Alex Penn. Huge moment there. I'm not exactly certain what happened there for Alex, but that's going to allow Finley Fitzsimmons to take the lead here as Alex Penn gets his way back out onto track here after a little bit of an incident. And looking at that 30 machine, is kind of wiggling around here a little bit. Not sure if there's a little bit of wheel damage going on or what the case may be here. That's definitely going to be upsetting, though, for the 30 machine of Alex Penn. Looking at James Silvers, taking up third right now in the 17 machine at this point in time. Going to be holding on to that spot here as he takes a moment to disappear from the track and reappear again. Anyhow, right now, let's take a look at our top 5. So, Finley Fitzsimmons taking this lead at the moment with Alex Penn in second place, James Silvers in third, Matthew Davidson in fourth, and Daniel Beauchamp actually going to be in fifth place right now as he trying to work his way around some lap traffic here. I believe that is James Silvers. Oh! Contact between the two. That's Tyler Evans. Oh, no. So a little bit of contact between Daniel Beauchamp, Tyler Evans. That sends the 77 spinning out of control. And so for the 4-5-1 machine of Daniel Beauchamp, that is going to be a penalty. A drive-through is going to be served to Daniel for that contact with Tyler Evans just a moment ago. That is definitely a rough situation to be in here as we have pit stops happening right now. Alex Penn in the 30 machine, up and down and out he goes. So Fitzsimmons going to be leading this field here, and I do believe we do have the safety car out, and indeed we do. Alright folks, so as we get ready to go racing here once again, as I do believe our safety car is going to come down into the pits here in just a few moments. Okay, so we were letting some lap traffic on by, so that someone's getting the wave around. I'm not sure exactly who that was there, getting that wave around, but personally, folks, I just really enjoy seeing a live safety car here in a virtual F1 race. I think that's just absolutely beautiful. It is a great thing to have everyone coming together for these events and helping one another put this event on and be a part of it. So, always great to see. Alright, so I do believe we have another car that is waiting to get stacked back up here. I do believe it's Jack Mundy here in the 320 machine. Alright, folks, and I do believe this is where we're going to see the pace cars come down. I have a feeling. Let's see what our safety car driver, Joseph Penn, is going to do here for us. So we head through the bus stop, and we'll head through turns 3 and 4 back down the front straight. Front straight. Alright, folks, and I think Alright, so we head through the dog leg here, I think one final time, as drivers get their tires warmed up here, it looks like. I think this is indeed going to be the last time here on this lap before we see the safety car head down into the pits. And indeed it does. So there it goes, speeding away into the pits. And away we go. Once again here at Daytona. Alex Penn with a very, very impressive lead here. James Silvers, Finley Fitzsimmons both going to be duking out here going into turn 1. Finley Fitzsimmons almost looked like he was going to have a little bit of a moment there, but keeping it together. Keeping right on the tail of the 17 of James Silvers as we go in through the nice right-hander. Ooh, Daniel Beauchamp though. Nope, that wasn't Daniel. I believe that was actually Jack Mundy that had a little bit of a moment there, quite possibly. Keeping it up close here with Tyler Evans. Nope, that's not Tyler Evans. Who is that in front of Jack Mundy here? Let's find out. Alex Penn having a little bit of an issue here as he comes out of the final turn, out of the road section, onto the oval. Finds himself slammed into the barrier. Not sure if he's going to have any major damage from that or not, but all the way down into 4th place here. Look at this, though. Out of the dogleg, Finley Fitzsimmons duking it out here with James Silvers. Finley able to get his way up into 1st place, lap 18 of 27. Fitzsimmons, after an earlier incident at the very beginning of the race, he was leading. Now he's back up here in the front. It only took a few laps, though. Matthew Davidson almost collides with James Silvers. That was a very, very close battle there for 2nd. Davidson staying right on the tail end, trying to see what he can do here. Let's ride on board here with Davidson, excuse me. I love that view there. You could see the sparks flying from the rear end of the car in front. That is just absolutely fantastic, though. This entry, not quite so. That entry into the dogleg for Matthew Davidson, not quite looking exactly the safest, or probably not exactly what he was looking for there, but trying to keep it together to all that he can here. Matthew Davidson coming across the line. It's lap 20 of 27. Finley Fitzsimmons out in front still. James Silvers in 2nd place, just about 2.5 seconds separating these two. Matthew Davidson in 3rd with almost 4 seconds separating himself and the leader currently. Last time around, though, let's take a look here at this little bit of piece of information. Look at the last time. The best time that Finley Fitzsimmons has set here for tonight with a 121.59. Ooh. Not sure if that was contact there or not. That almost looked like it was there for Finley Fitzsimmons. He almost looked like he almost smacked the wall there. Still keeping it together, though. Still racing, trying to do all that he can here, and doing a fantastic job at that. So, gotta say, it's been absolutely thrilling watching these drivers here. Jack Mundy having a little bit of trouble, though. He shuts that engine off as he comes to a complete stop there. Actually, what turn is that? Nope, never mind. So as we look here with Finley Fitzsimmons, James Silver still in 2nd place, Matthew Davidson in 3rd. We've already gone over that here a few times. But Daniel Beauchamp, though, actually on the lead lap here. I'm very, very shocked by this. Well, not too much, but Daniel Beauchamp, after starting the race a little bit later, not exactly certain what the reason was for, but Daniel getting himself off to the start of the race a little bit later than everyone else. Alex Penn almost colliding with James Silvers here. Wow, that was very, very close call here for Silvers. But lap 21 of 27 here. 22 now, actually, as Finley crosses the line here. And it looks like, actually, after all of our drivers have come through, let me see here. if we can get some information here. Well, this isn't exactly what I was looking for, but this will do. So, this is essentially showing the different pit stop times for all of our drivers here tonight. Now, given that this is the last generation of Formula One cars, the times are slightly different. If you are following the current season of Formula One, these mechanics have dropped that time down to, I believe Red Bull set the time of like 2.4, 2.3. It was something ridiculous. It was absolutely impressive. But either way, either how, you can see how for Matthew Davidson, it's actually worked in his favor a little bit. You know, he's actually had a little bit slower pit times. He had 10 seconds in the pits, but somehow still managing to get up 2 spots, even despite all that. But that didn't exactly give us all the information that I was looking for here. I would like to go over the tires a little bit more, but for some reason or another, that isn't always working in my favor here. As we can try and take a look. Yep, no. Okay, so either way, either how, Finley Fitzsimmons looking like he is going to be on those intermediates here after this restart, or after that pit stop. Lap 14 was when Finley came in. Lap 13 here, Matthew Davidson going to be on these hard whites. Alex Penn, going to be on those intermediate yellows. Silvers as well as Daniel Beauchamp. But lap 24 of 27 here. This race is, I gotta say, you know, I wasn't exactly too certain what to expect from a race like Daytona, but I will say that these drivers have done a phenomenal job of tackling this course. It's really, again, these cars are not designed to be here. And the fact that we are racing here to begin with is just, it's phenomenal. But look at this battle here for second place. Alex Penn, Matthew Davidson, both going to be side by side here. So they come out of turn 4 out of the oval section. Alex Penn able to work his way out in front of that 22 machine, across the checkered line, heading into the first turn of the road section. Matthew Davidson trying to do all that he can to stay on the tail of that 30 machine. It's going to prove to be a lot of work to keep up with the pace of those intermediate yellows that Alex Penn is currently driving on. Now again, Matthew Davidson, he's on these hard whites. Now, I mentioned towards the beginning of the broadcast that these tires are going to offer you a lot longer life, but they're not going to give you the same speed as being on the intermediates or the soft reds. So as Finley Fitzsimmons crosses the line, it's lap 26 to 27. It's just 2 laps left to go here, folks, here at Daytona. And it's been a phenomenal race, I gotta say. You know, again, a little bit uncertainty as far as how this was going to go for the feature. The sprint going to be just half of the length here of this race. So that will be just about, I do believe, 14 or 15 laps. Actually, it won't be 15 laps. It'll be about 13 or 14 laps. So, anyhow, this is definitely a very interesting place to race at. Not an easy one, and definitely probably not one that these drivers are going to want to revisit again. But you know what? With that in mind, actually, let's. I'm just going to throw this out there to our the guys that run this series here for the Formula One Challenge. You know what? Let's just head on over to the Monza Oval and let's just tear it down there. Let's do it. Why not? You know what? We came to Daytona. We got to go to Monza. Come on, it's only right. Only kidding. I'm sure that every single driver would not show up to that race and just out of spite. Anyhow, the white flag is flying here at Daytona. It is the final lap here at Daytona for the feature of round number 4 of the Goon Squad Formula One Challenge. And still, our field is pretty much spread out. They're not really going to be stacked up here too close to one another. I don't really see that happening here. But here we go. Finley Fitzsimmons have just worked his way out of the dogleg here, or the bus stop. Excuse me, not the dogleg. I'm at Phoenix now. I don't know where I'm going. So Finley Fitzsimmons is going to be coming across the line here to take home the win for the feature as Alex Penn works his way out of, I believe this is turn 3 and 4. Indeed it is. So as he's going to come across the line and take home second place, Matthew Davidson going to be following just closely behind for that third place spot here. And here is your unofficial results. Finley Fitzsimmons in first place, Alex Penn in second, Matthew Davidson in third, Daniel Beauchamp in fourth, James Silvers in fifth, Tyler Evans in sixth, Jack Mundy in seventh, James East in 8th, and Joseph Penn as the honorary in last place as for driving the safety car. But that is going to conclude the coverage of our feature race. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will start our coverage of the sprint race here at Daytona for round number 4 of the Team Goon Squad Formula One Challenge. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere, and we will be right back for more.
Driver Carrington gets dumped by Benami. The leaders are winding up here. Daytona, the big one is out.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to round number 4 of the Team Goon Squad Formula One Challenge as we take to the grid for the start of our sprint race here today. Here is our lineup for today's sprint race. Finley Fitzsimmons appears to be starting out in... Nope. Okay, so this is an inverted start, so we're going to do this a little bit backwards here, folks. So Daniel Beauchamp is going to be starting out in first place. James Silvers is going to be second. Tyler Evans in third. James East in fourth. Matthew Davidson in fifth. Alex Penn in sixth. Jack Mundy in seventh. And Finley Fitzsimmons in eighth place. So, had to do that a little backwards here on the fly, but our drivers are taking to the field for our sprint race, and it is going to be 13 laps here at Daytona. So, after and I believe I actually had my field messed up here a little bit. That's my bad. So, it looks like we have Jack Mundy in first, Tyler Evans in second, James Silvers in third, Daniel Beauchamp in fourth, Matthew Davidson in fifth, Alex Penn in sixth, Finley Fitzsimmons in seventh, and James East in eighth. And it does look like James is not going to be participating in the sprint race. He said, no thank you, I've had enough of the Mercedes. I'm going to go play normal things now and let these drivers have their fun. But always great to see James and the rest of the team come together for various series here and there. Even though that they don't always participate all the time, it is great to see them come out and support the series when they can and just have a good old time. And that is what the intention of these series is for everyone to come out, have fun, and share the experience of racing. So even if it is all in done in our rooms behind closed doors and probably curtains to block out the sun from putting glare on your screen or in your eyes, you know, it's great. It's a great thing, sim racing. Gotta love it. But all jokes aside here, we are about to go green as the safety car ducks down into pit road. And Jack Mundy with a very, very, very impressive start here. Jack Mundy trailing his way into turn one, doing a very good job here as the rest of the field trickles in behind them. Here we go, Jack Mundy here, still leading this field. Tyler Evans, James Silvers very, very close behind one another. Daniel Beauchamp in the fourth place spot here, trying to see if he can wiggle his way into the top three here before too long. Matthew Davidson just behind him. Look at Alex Penn here trying to stay on the rear wing of the driver in front of him. That's going to be Finley Fitzsimmons. We got a driver sideways. It's Tyler Evans. Evans finds himself spun out, going out of the turn. We're going out of the final turn of the road onto the oval. As we now have Matthew Davidson, Daniel Beauchamp challenging one another for third place here as Davidson through the bus stop. Very good work there from Davidson in the 22. As we look behind them, it's Daniel Beauchamp, Finley Fitzsimmons, the teammates, duking it out side by side. Alex Penn and Cornerstone Motorworks also wiggling his way into this battle here. Down the front straight, across the checkered line. It's lap 3 of 13. Going into turn 1 here. Let's see what these drivers got in store for one another. Fitzsimmons on the inside. Davidson giving Penn nowhere to go but out. Penn able to keep his car out on track here, trying to stay on the rear wing of Davidson. Beauchamp also trying to stick in the mix here. Beauchamp now is actually up 2 spots. For some reason I thought he was down, but Beauchamp actually going to be up 2 spots here, up into 6th place. Beauchamp going to continue to try and stay on the rear wing of that 22 machine, and I gotta appreciate really how close these drivers are to one another on these opening laps of the sprint. Just about a half a second separates these two drivers of Finley Fitzsimmons and James Silvers, holding on to second and third place respectively. Just behind them though, Davidson, Alex Penn going to be duking it out here for fourth place. Penn able to get out in front of Davidson. Penn with a real nice wide entry going into one there. That's going to give him a nice exit. Penn is looking absolutely impressive here. You know, he's had a couple... He had the chance to lead the race in the feature for quite some laps, and seeing him out here in the sprint race, holding on to fourth place and really giving that 30 machine the beans here. Really impressive to see Alex Penn here, and starting to reel in Finley Fitzsimmons, James Silvers as they duke it out, heading out onto the oval, going into turn 3. Or excuse me, yeah, that's turn 3. Excuse me, I got myself all confused there. Nope, I got myself confused again. That was the exit of turn 2, and we're down the back straight now, going through the bus stop. Silvers here in the 17 machine, holding on to second place now. As Finley Fitzsimmons works his way around the outside. Let's see if Fitzsimmons has what it takes. He does, going into turn 1 around. Silvers taking that second place spot. That's going to give Race Hub Motorsports 1 and 2 here in the sprint race. Oh, Silvers has a little bit of a moment though, sends himself spinning out sideways. Avoids anyone else out on track. It's a one-car incident for the 17 of Silvers. Davidson now able to keep on to third place, but does not exactly set himself free as far as competition. He's still got Alex Penn in the 30 machine on his tail. Looks like Tyler Evans might have possibly had a moment here just a few moments ago. But Davidson not able to hold off Penn, and it looks like he might have had some troubles here, as Davidson real wide on the turns of 3 and 4 there. Not exactly certain what sort of issues were happening there. Let's take a look at drivers' last times around the track here. Taking a look at the left-hand side of your screen, you can see drivers' independent last lap times. Mundy currently setting the pace right now with a 122.7 as his best time right now. Actually, his best time is a 122.2, but I'm not sure if that's for the sprint or the session in its entirety. But right now, looking very, very comfortable out there on track. As Alex Penn able to get himself up into second place here around Finley Fitzsimmons. Very surprised to see that. Cornerstone definitely looking to get themselves a podium, secure themselves a podium as much as they possibly can here. As Davidson, Fitzsimmons both continue to battle here for third place, actually, excuse me. Davidson going to be down on the inside of Fitzsimmons. Not exact. Oh, that would explain it. Fitzsimmons is missing his front wing. Not able to generate the downforce that he needs to be able to send that car into the turns like he normally would be able to with these Formula One cars. Oh, yeah, there he goes. Fitzsimmons running off there by his teammate, Daniel Beauchamp. Yeah, Fitzsimmons really struggling here to hold on to this machine. So, he's missing that front wing again. That's generating a lot of downforce on the front of the car, and that's what's going to allow these drivers to be able to move the car very efficiently through these turns. And without it, you really got to slow the car down, really turn that wheel to really get it to go the direction that you want it to. As there's just no external force being applied to the car to allow it to just push it down into the ground to give you that grip that you need. So it looks like here Fitzsimmons is going to come down into the pits and get that 6 machine repaired. Hopefully slap a new front wing on it and get back out there as quickly as possible. So Fitzsimmons with a 4.1 second pit time there, so very, very quickly back out of the pits here, back out onto the track. Very good work there from Finley Fitzsimmons, just making very short work of that issue and getting himself back out onto track as quickly as possible. Now, what I'm curious to see here is if Race Hub Motorsports, the team, is going to be able to crack their way back into a top 3, a double podium for the team here. Daniel Beauchamp right now still holding on to 4th place in the 451 machine. The only other driver with Race Hub that I can see having a chance of even, getting back up here into the top 3. He's holding on to 4th place right now, but just about 2 seconds separating himself with Matthew Davidson, and there's only about 5 laps left to go here at Daytona. You know, those poor cones that the iRacing stewards, you know, they work so hard to set them all up, and all of these drivers just come around, just knock them all over the place. Yeah. Only kidding. But right now, I gotta say, for this sprint race, this very impressive start. Very impressive start. I did not expect to see these drivers kind of take off the way that they did. I really did not anticipate to see that. Just given kind of how the feature went, seen a few different issues for drivers right off the start for the feature, and was hoping that we didn't see that going into the sprint, and thankfully it was very clean racing for a lot of these drivers here, and a lot of very, very competitive driving amongst a lot of these drivers here for those few laps that we had these drivers that close to one another. So very exciting to see that here at Daytona, and frankly, hopefully we'll see more action like this going forward through the season. As Davidson gets himself spun around here going on to the oval. The same section of track that we've seen all night drivers have issues with. A lap 10 of 13 here. It's 11 now, actually, as Mundy crosses the line here in the 320 machine. 3 laps left to go before the end of the race. So Mundy here, Alex Penn in second place, Beauchamp in third right now, and once Mundy crosses the line here in a very short amount of time, you know, man, it's just been a very interesting race to see really the weak spots that these cars have on this roval, and really the part that I think is the most difficult for these drivers is that transition from the road course to the oval. That's that part of the track where you're coming out of the road course and you have to make that transition from that, the racing surface from the road course to the oval. I can't imagine is the same. I'm just going to leave it at that. I can't imagine that they're the same in any way, and I can't imagine that the level of grip is going to translate very smoothly between the two. From what I've seen already throughout this race, it just seems like you have to really take it easy going onto the oval. You really got to be smooth and just not get on that gas as aggressively as you normally would. It just seems like if you get that, if you do so, if you get a little bit too aggressive on that throttle, the tires just want to get away from you. The car just wants to get out from underneath you, and I think that is ultimately what a lot of drivers here have been fighting. So a lot of good racing thus far, as Jack Mundy is going to come across the line here, and it's going to be the white flag flying here at Daytona. And Daniel Beauchamp actually was able to get himself up into third place here, so that it is going to possibly be a top 3. A double podium for Race Hub Motorsports. That's going to be a very huge win here for the team. And I'm sure that they're going to be quite satisfied with that, as well as Jack Mundy going to be coming away with his first win, I believe, for the Formula One Challenge of the season. So very, very huge congrats here to Jack Mundy in the 320 machine. Once he crosses the line here, yeah, he's gonna take home a win here at Daytona for round number 4 of the Formula One Challenge in the sprint. As we work our way through turn 3 and out of 4 on the oval section. And checkered flag flies. Mundy across the line with Alex Penn just following closely behind. Mundy with a very well-earned victory here. Daniel Beauchamp taking a shortcut. Finding his teammate, I think. Nope, he's just going to take a lap around the oval here as we conclude today's race. But here is our race results for the sprint race. Jack Mundy taking home the win, Alex Penn in second, Daniel Beauchamp in third, Matthew Davidson in fourth, Finley Fitzsimmons in fifth, James Silvers in sixth, Tyler Evans in seventh, and James East rounding out the field here. But that is going to conclude our coverage of round number 4 of the Formula One Challenge. I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you all for watching, and I will see you all for the next one. Thank you for watching.